one person we'll talk about is Faf du Plessis, because he certainly has just shown that aggressive is not quite the word, but when he's in form and he starts walking down to the bowlers, you know that du Plessis is going to be scoring some runs for you. Forget what happened in that opening game. Once he got going against Punjab, it was the vintage du Plessis we know.
Yeah, the first one, he got a beauty from Avish Khan in that first game against Delhi. In Punjab game, he looked sketchy. He looked a little bit scratchy, and he just needed that innings to be not out at the end, just to give him that little bit of confidence. He came out against Rajasthan firing, 33 off 17. He took to the bowling. He was down the ground. The scoop shot was back again, and that just gave him the real belief to go out and play like he did against Kolkata. That was a special innings against Kolkata. Some great shots. He's a different type of player, Faf du Plessis, just with that backlift, the grip that's wide apart. There's a lot of quirkiness about him, but he's just got better and better each innings.
Okay, Simon, question for you on Faf. Alan Wilkins gives me so much grief. I'm so happy you said Francois du Plessis. He gives me so much grief about Faf, not Faf. And you know Alan is son, Faf. So he's the big one. Again, someone who's given up the captaincy, is free from all that is happening in South African cricket. I mean, at the moment, to be captain of South Africa is to be in 4 simultaneous tug of wars with everyone pulling you apart. So it's a really tough place to be at the moment, captain of South Africa. So I just wonder whether there's fear in his mind, saying, I've got more to do with that. I'll play freely and I'll enjoy what I've left with my cricket.
I think you're spot on, Harsha. I just think he's looked at his career and maybe saying, I've got 2 to 3 more years of maybe some international 2020 and some franchise cricket up to that point and possibly beyond. I'm just going to enjoy it. I've freed myself of that burden of having to deal with the political nature of South African cricket, and that's a shame. It's a shame that sort of decision is made by quite a few, actually, in the last little while in South Africa, that they've had to feel like they've freed themselves from that situation. But I believe that his franchises that he plays for from now on are going to benefit from that. And he's always been quite a relaxed character, but I think in some way, shape or form, that was possibly just hanging over his head. So yeah, we might see just a better player from now on, and he was already a very good player.
Yeah, I think tough is a good word. Simple word, but a good word way to describe. Tough. Yeah, Faf. There we go.
Yeah.
Wilco, if you're listening, Harsha's been listening to you, but we'll try and find something. Francois, let's just stick to Francois. We love it just comes off the tongue so much easier. But another word that doesn't always come off the tongue easier, but is significant in T20 cricket, is Basra. Nothing to do with the town in Iraq. It is, of course, the batting average and strike rate when we combine it. And we all experts feel that is the best way to judge a T20 batsman. And obviously in reference to Faf, Harsha, look at his Basra numbers.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I'm smiling is I remember Doull used to keep telling us, Basra, 160 is a good player, 170 are a good player. Every time I meet Doull, it's 10 more, 180 is a good player. What's a good Basra now? I mean, 40 average is excellent, but I think 180, I think we should be talking 180 as the cutoff for a good to really good. 190, 200 is just out of this world, but 180, I think you're a really good player at 180, because either you've got your 40, 140, or if you're 70, 110, your team is probably bottom of the table anyway because you've lost them a lot of matches. But 40, 140 is a fantastic player to have in your side.
Yep, certainly is. But Doull, just to finish off on this entire discussion on du Plessis, I mean, somewhat like AB de Villiers. We often ask about AB de Villiers. He's not playing for the national side. He's playing often from IPL to IPL. So Faf is fast getting to that place. Now, is that something that frees your mind and you can just sort of focus only on that one format and one tournament almost?
Yeah, it is, but it takes a special kind of player. And we've seen in years gone by, and you go back to 13, 14, 15, when certain international players, and probably, we're talking about some of the greats of our game at times, Simmons, Hayden, Gilchrist, these sorts of guys who have decided that retirement is okay at international level, Brendan McCullum, but they just want to play franchise cricket. If you don't have the work ethic, if you don't have the what inside you to train like you're still playing at that top level, to practice like you're still playing at that top level. And I think it takes a certain type of person to be able to continue just playing some franchise cricket when they're not playing international cricket, because you're not facing, apart from this tournament, you're not facing quality international bowling time, game in, game out, and in other franchise tournaments. So it makes it tougher, and you have to have, it's a special breed of player that is able to do that. I think AB is probably as good as it gets as far as that ethic is concerned, his training, his mental approach, his diligence to his craft. I think he's probably at the top of the tree, and Faf du Plessis is going to realise how tough it is. I think probably more so next year than this year.